Rise America.
Now it's April, which means it's Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Now, according to the US Bureau of Justice, just over 1 in 5 sexual assaults are reported to law enforcement. Advocates say victims fear backlash, the stigma of such an assault, or not being believed. The Department of Justice says that currently in the US, a person is sexually assaulted every 109 seconds. An assault can happen anywhere and very often can be online. Now, last year, the Sexual Assault Awareness Month launched a campaign with the message that, and I quote, "we can build safe online spaces." The aim was to ensure that online users would conduct themselves respectfully whilst intervening if harmful content or behaviour was seen in online communities. This year, the campaign is building on its vision, calling on building safe online spaces together. The campaign is reaching out to all communities, saying that by cooperation, they can build safe, inclusive and respectful spaces online. Well, for more on this, sexual assault awareness advocate and writer Cathy Ben-Ameh joins me now from London. Cathy, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Now, when people think of sexual assault, they are quite likely not to consider incidents online. How would you define online sexual abuse?
Well, online sexual abuse usually occurs when there's some level of coercion. You're being coerced to send sexual images of yourself, or sexual images of you are posted online without your approval. Sexual coercion could also be flashing. Sexual assault online can also happen by when people flash images or send you provocative sexual pictures of themselves without your approval as well. So, and trolling as well.
Now in the US, the stats say every 109 seconds somebody is being sexually assaulted, mainly online. But in effect, not many people, not everyone is coming forward. I mean, how can you encourage people to come forward and ignore the apparent stigmatism of an assault or the embarrassment of reporting it?
Well, it's easy to say, encourage people to report these cases, but the fact is, a lot of times the victims are not believed. And a lot of times these cases of sexual assault online are very difficult to prove. So I'd say as much as possible, record your activities online and screenshot your activities online and get 1 or 2 friends to collaborate your message, your report of what has happened to you. And if that doesn't happen, then I mean, it's difficult. It's a really difficult one, but I'd encourage everyone to just report it, because you just never know who you might be saving by reporting your own incident.
Now, I mean, obviously it's Awareness Month and there's various campaign and message that takes place. I mean, how can people work together to ensure that spaces online are safe for users and communities?
Well, what already exists is, like, on a place like Facebook, there are regulations in groups, and YouTube have regulations. And if you don't meet those regulations, you're kicked out of the platform. I'd encourage other users and other members of groups, anytime you notice someone is being attacked or trolled on a public setting, and especially in the comment sections, be bold enough to speak out. And if you are a victim of someone sending you sexual images or trying to coerce you to send images of yourself, don't be afraid to report to the platform that you're on, like Facebook or Instagram or whatever social media you're using.
People may be witnesses to it, may not be happening to them, but they might see inappropriate action take place either in a forum or somewhere online, but they may feel, well, it's not my business, I'm not talking, I'm not these two people. I mean, how can you encourage, or what would you say to somebody if they'd witnessed something that wasn't happening to them to come forward and report it?
Imagine it was happening to a member of your family or to someone that you really cared about, and someone else was in your position observing what was happening. What would you want them to do? So I think the public needs to take responsibility and start to learn to empathize, because a lot of us are not empathetic enough. And the question that we ask ourselves in this position, in these situations, is what would I want someone to do if I was the one in that position?
Well, unfortunately, we've run out of time, but Cathy, thank you so much indeed for taking some time to discuss, and best of luck with the rest of the month with the campaign, and keep us informed.
Every angle. This is Arise America.